Hello, this is Bill Zoller with the Wellness Warriors Ministry, and today we're going to talk about potatoes, one of the world's favorite foods. We think we have some relevant information about potatoes, and our ministry certainly advocates the consumption of potatoes as part of a whole food, plant-based, balanced, varied eating plan. So potatoes are the fourth largest crop, food crop in the world. It was the first vegetable to be grown in space. Potatoes arrived in United States colonies in the year 1621, and the potato has served as a pillar of nutrition for billions of people in the past. There have been several questions raised in research about potatoes, and I just wanted to comment about a couple of these items. First of all, there has been some research stating that potatoes pose a diabetes risk and may raise blood pressure and contribute to heart disease and some cancers. However, this research used a variety of unhealthy versions of potatoes. For example, French fries, and also potatoes that were topped with unhealthy ingredients like sour cream and butter and other high-fat ingredients. In another study, a 4-year prospective study of about 37,000 adults, researchers looked at the relationship between different dietary patterns and type 2 diabetes. The results of the study were published in the American Journal of Epidemiology. They found an association between potatoes and diabetes only when they were cooked with oil, as in French fries. In fact, they concluded that consuming a variety of cooked vegetables, including potatoes, in ways other than frying was associated with a reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. From 1996 to the year 2008, potato consumption fell 19%, while the percentage of people with diabetes increased by more than 200%. Very interesting. Another question about potatoes has to do with the fact that they are in the nightshade category of vegetables, several vegetables in that category of nightshade vegetables that contain an alkaloid compound called solanine. This compound may negatively affect nerve muscle function, digestive function, and joint function in some people. Health problems from nightshade foods may only occur in people who are especially sensitive to these compounds. Since cooking only lowers these alkaloid compounds by 40 or 50%, people who are highly sensitive may want to avoid this category of foods altogether, while non-sensitive people may be able to eat potatoes with no problem at all. A couple of nutritional issues. A single large potato contains a lot of potassium, magnesium, iron, copper, manganese, vitamin C, and most of the B vitamins. Potatoes are one of the world's most perfect foods. They contain a little bit of almost every nutrient we need, and there have been accounts of people who have lived on nothing but potatoes for a long time. I'll talk about that in a moment. When researchers compared the satiety value or the satisfaction value of different foods, boiled potatoes scored higher than any other food they tested. So all potatoes are naturally high in potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure. The antioxidants in potatoes strengthen our immune system and can help prevent certain heart diseases and cancers, and significantly decrease inflammation and decrease DNA damage from oxidative stress and free radical damage. Some very interesting research was done in 1925 on two healthy adults, one a 25-year-old man and a 28-year-old woman. For 6 months, they lived primarily on white potatoes and a little bit of fruit, coffee, tea, and a little bit of fat because they were losing weight. Their protein intake was practically solely derived from the potato. After this 6-month period, they had no food cravings, and their physical examination was quite positive. Next, in terms of research, some rural Africans, some groups of rural Africans subsist on a variety of sweet potatoes, and they have some of the cleanest arteries of any group of people in the world. Their arteries are soft, supple, and 100% clear of arterial plaque, even at 89 years of age. Next research item is Chris Voigt, the executive director of the Washington State Potato Commission, ate 20 white potatoes a day for 60 straight days. This is about 2,200 calories of potatoes a day. No toppings, no gravy, no cheese, no sour cream or anything on them except for some herbs and maybe a little bit of oil in his cooking. He was not attempting to lose weight, but he did lose weight. But more importantly, he had significant reductions in his cholesterol, his triglycerides, his LDL cholesterol, and his glucose, indicating that he had dramatically reduced his risk of heart disease and diabetes. Next I want to say a couple of things about white potatoes and purple potatoes and sweet potatoes. First of all, purple potatoes. Here is a small purple potato that I use frequently. It's purple on the outside and also has a wonderful purple flesh on the inside. These potatoes originated in Peru and Bolivia. They contain 4 times as many antioxidants, specifically anthocyanins, as russet potatoes. And they have a very good anti-inflammatory effect because of their antioxidant compounds. Next, a couple of things, actually a fair amount of material about sweet potatoes. So sweet potatoes are high in flavonoids, vitamin C, fiber, carotenoids, and slow-burning carbohydrates. Also contain beta-carotene and anthocyanins, and up to 27% protein, one of the healthiest foods in the world. The Okinawan centenarians, these are Okinawan people who are 100 years old and older, have sweet potatoes as about 60% of their calories. And they live a long, long time without chronic disease. These potatoes also have potent anti-aging properties. So what about preparation of sweet potatoes and selection of sweet potatoes? So when we select sweet potatoes, we want to select those that have the most intense yellow or orange flesh, because the intensity of the color of the sweet potato is directly correlated to its nutritional value. These pigments may have special anti-cancer effects. Here's a very important point today. So what's the best way to cook sweet potatoes? Boiling may actually retain most of the antioxidant power of sweet potatoes compared to roasting or steaming. If we compare baking to boiling microscopically, boiling potatoes thin out the cell walls and gelatinize the starch, which may enhance the bioavailability of nutrients in the potato. At the same time, the glycemic index of boiled sweet potatoes was found to be about half of that of baking or roasting the potatoes. Be sure to keep the skin on the sweet potato. The peel of the sweet potato has nearly 10 times the antioxidant power as the flesh. The peel's nutrition really takes a hit when it is baked. which wipes out over 2/3 of the antioxidants, whereas microwaving or boiling are comparatively much more gentle. The same is true for the rest of the sweet potato. Baking can also cause an 80% drop in vitamin A levels. So that's a very important material there. White potatoes. So probably there's nothing wrong with white potatoes unless you add a bunch of high-fat ingredients to them when you're mashing them, like butter and sour cream and all of this. We really discourage that. If you want to eat a plain mashed potato, you could put in that potato some freshly roasted garlic squeezed in there, a little salt, a little pepper, and maybe some nutritional yeast, which adds some very, very nice flavor. Nutritional yeast, by the way, is a cheese substitute. The typical loaded potato in a restaurant gets more than 2/3 of its calories and nearly all of its fat from non-potato ingredients. The association with diabetes applied to potatoes may more accurately be applied to how the potato is prepared and what the toppings are than to the potato itself. I also wanted to mention that long-distance runners often consume boiled potatoes on the course if they're running a 26-mile or 50-mile or 100-mile competition. So we would discourage the use of French fries because they're fried food. We do not encourage putting a lot of high-fat ingredients in mashed potatoes or on baked potatoes. Boiling is the best way to prepare them. What we do in our home is we cut up white potatoes or sweet potatoes and we cube those and boil that, and we use it in soups and stews and on salads. I take these wonderful purple potatoes and boil them and cut them in fourths or halved, and I put them in my daily raw big huge salad, and it just adds a really nice added level of nutrition and flavor. The acrylamides in fried potatoes, French fries, and potato chips may cause inflammation and contribute to cancer. All deep fried foods increase cancer risk. If you cook the potatoes and then allow them to cool afterwards, they also form large amounts of resistant starch, a fiber-like substance with many powerful health benefits. So those are some comments about potatoes today, and we hope that you continue to include these in your daily eating as one of the starchy vegetables that are very satisfying and very nutritious. Stay with us in the Wellness Warriors Ministry by accessing our website at mywellnesswarriors.com, or friend us on Facebook at William Zoller, and also our email address is wazoller@gmail.com. Thank you very much.